cold case can be lost in a deposition. You cannot frequently win a case in your deposition, but you sure can lose it.
And that's why when we used to go against the big firms when I was a defense attorney and they'd shake the hand of the client at deposition, I knew they weren't prepared for that issue. And that's why not only are we going to talk to you about that issue, but more often than not, we're going to hand you the records. And we're going to, or email them to you and say, review these records, understand what you talked about before. Because the other thing is sometimes, especially at chiropractors, you might have been going there for a neck problem, but they adjusted your back as well, and you don't remember that. And you say, well, I never had back pain. Well, you say, they ask, well, were you ever adjusted for it? You don't remember. And then they use it against you, right? The insurance company is going to use that against you.
Pre-existing conditions, even if they exist, are not the end of your opportunity for justice. It's more about preparation to present your case on an individual basis in the best light so the insurance company gives you a fair offer.
And that's it. I mean, it's not a death knell for a case, because most of us have had injuries in the past. And sometimes injuries aren't even related. We see that. You know, they've had a foot injury and they're here, the accident is a back injury. The important thing is to reveal all of that stuff so we can talk about all the injuries and say, that's not related, that's not related. Because the reality is, a lot of that stuff that's not related is never going to come into trial.
Right.
They're going to throw pre-existing injuries out there, and they will. And you might be thinking, gosh, I went to a chiropractor 2 years ago, or I went to a doctor or an orthopedist a couple years ago. How's that going to affect my case? The issue is, did you recover? Because a lot of times you went a couple times and you recovered and you were fine and it wasn't a problem. And the insurance company still loves that record. The reality is they love that record and they want to talk about it. The best thing we can do is say, okay, you went to the doctor 5 times and you got better, especially if the records, if you're going to a chiropractor, a lot of times the document, you started at a 5, you got better, you got to a 2, you got to a 1, and then if you didn't go back after you were a 2 or 1, the indication is that your injury got better.